I am going to talk about the session on cardiac health, the heart rate, and how to make a stronger heart. Okay, so I am going to take up some questions that few of my clients had asked me. So I will first take those questions because those are very pertinent questions. What is the importance of setting a low resting heart rate? So the person is Suresh. He had been training with me since almost 3 years now. He is a runner, and he actually understands, and he has achieved a very good progress in his resting heart rate. Previously it was 80, now it's around 60 on an average. So what is resting heart rate? Resting means rest. So your heart should rest when you are also resting. That means when you are at resting phase, like you are sitting idle or sleeping or sitting doing nothing, then usually what happens is your heart rate is 70 to 75 or 80 BPM for an adult, that is beats per minute. That is for in an ideal situation. Okay, so when you are training continuously, you are working out on n number of structured training and workouts, what happens is your fitness improves. Once your fitness starts improving with the proper structured training where you are focusing on your heart strength also, then what happens is that your resting heart rate starts lowering down, because then you are able to train your heart in a way that when you rest, your heart also rests and it is exerting lesser than what it used to pump the same amount of blood in 1 minute. Okay, so in 1 minute, if it was beating previously for 70 minutes, it may go down till 40 for a very fit person. So the importance of lowering down the resting heart rate is that you are giving enough recovery time to your heart to beat and pump the same amount of blood efficiently within a minute. So that shows the improvement in your fitness level. Now the second question that was asked by Mamta, she had been training with me since almost a year now. She has shown a very good progress. The question was, how does animal food impact your cardiac strength? Animal food and cardiac strength. So when you eat animal based food, it can be eggs, it can be milk, like any dairy, and meat, chicken, fish or anything. What happens is it forms a plaque in the inner layering of your artery. So what happens is when the blood is flowing without the plaque, the blood pressure is normal and heart is getting enough supply of blood. But when there is a plaque formed in the inner layer of artery, what happens is now blood is pushing itself to flow through the artery, it is getting lesser space. What happens is it results into high BP because the blood pressure is high now, and at the same time heart is not getting enough blood supply. So in a way, when you are eating animal based food, only animal based food, heavy on the animal based food, and you are not adding enough fiber to your food, what happens is it directly and indirectly impacts your heart strength, because when the blood is not flowing in the sufficient quantity, your BP is high, then your heart is also exerting lot. So your resting heart rate or active heart rate improves because your heart will have to exert more and your body is not getting enough blood supply. So this way, eating only animal based food will impact your cardiac strength. Yeah, but if you are managing it well with half portion of fiber, that is alkaline based food, fruits and vegetables, and managing only 1/4 of animal based food as protein, then it will not impact that high, because then you are detoxing and clearing out the plaque with the add-on of the fiber in your diet. Okay, so you have to balance it in so that it does not impact your cardiac strength. Third question was, what is the role of a strong cardiac health in stress management? That was asked by Kokila. Kokila has recently joined us. Again a very good question, because whenever we face a situation and when we do some reaction on that situation, there is a small interpretation gap between the situation and your reaction, where you actually interpret the situation and then you react. That is only for 2-3 seconds, very small minimal seconds. Here comes your how your body is responding to that situation. So if any adverse situation comes and your body is not able to respond in a positive way, like if your heart rate has gone up pertaining to that situation, you will end up reacting in a negative way. So if you have a good control on your cardiac health, if your cardiac health is strong, so if whatever kind of situation, extreme situation, maybe very high happy mode or very low emotional mode or sad mode, or any situation that is aggressive that you are going to face, so once the situation occurs, your body responds in a positive or negative way in terms of your heartbeat. So if your heart is strong, you will be able to manage that interpretation part well, so that you can react in a positive and resilient way, and that impacts your stress. If you are reacting in a negative way, then your stress will be high. If you are able to manage it well through your heart rate, then your interaction and your interpretation and your reaction to the situation will be in a positive way that will manage your stress. So the situation and how you react to that situation, there is a small gap where your heart rate comes into existence. So if you are able to manage that small gap, then your reaction will be in a positive way where you can manage your stress, either manage or not manage. If you are not managing, then you will be in high stress level. If you are able to manage it, then your stress will be lower, and that impacts into a good manageable cortisol hormones also. So if your stress is managed, then your cortisol hormones are also nominal, and then all the hormonal balancing is taken care of. If you are not able to manage your stress because of your lower cardiac strength, then your cortisol hormones will be up, and once the cortisol hormones, that is stress hormones, that is up, that will disbalance the other hormones in your body. Fourth question was, is your RHR and sleeping HR the same? That is, your resting heart rate and sleeping heart rate is same. That is asked by Sanju. Sanju is a student. She has also joined us recently. So yes, almost the same, but when you are sleeping, then your resting HR is lower than when you are relaxing on a couch. So ideally, to check your proper resting HR, you are supposed to wear the watch, sleep, and then first thing in the morning you check what your resting heart rate is. That shows you the ideal number. Fifth question was, what precautions should be taken when your HR is high, even if you are resting? If you are not doing anything and suddenly you notice that your heart rate is high, what should you do? Very, very important question asked by Evie. Evie has also joined us since almost a month, and she has shown very good progress in her training. So now, when you are sitting, supposedly I am sitting and at present I am talking, but if I am not even talking, I am just sitting, and suddenly I saw that my resting heart rate has gone up. That means suddenly my body has started functioning in a way where my heart is exerting a lot. So what you should do is 3-4 pointers. First thing, it could be because you are dehydrated, you have not taken enough supply of water. So try to have 1.5 glass of water, so that, because for the proper heart functioning you need a good supply of water. So if you are dehydrated, then that means maybe your heart is not able to pump enough blood. Oxygen is also there in water, so that will be beneficial. Second, you start doing deep breathing, where you will inhale and your belly will come out, you exhale and your belly goes out. So you will do balloon breathing, that is deep breathing. Try to supply more oxygen to your heart, because it may be the reason that you're maybe because of certain stress levels or whatever, in the before one hour or half an hour you have done some kind of workouts, and now you are relaxing, and suddenly your heart stops performing in a managed way, right? So your heart rate is suddenly up even if you are resting. So maybe that could be one reason, that there is lack of supply of oxygen to your heart. The best method is to do deep breathing. Elevate your legs a little higher. If you are sitting, if you can't do it against a wall, then maybe you can elevate your legs a little higher, because what happens is, when the heart is supplying blood to the other body organs and the systems, there is often lack of blood for the heart. So what happens is, heart looks towards the limbs, that is the lower body part, to get that blood supply. So maybe you can, if you do upside down or you elevate your legs a little higher, so the blood supply will start going towards your heart. Maybe you were standing or sitting for longer duration. So ideal situation, like you woke up in the morning, you did your workout, and then you were standing in the kitchen doing your work, doing cleaning, and now you are sitting. So all the time you are in the vertical position. So what is happening, might be happening here, is that the heart is not getting enough blood supply. So you can, if you do upside down, your legs up and your body is like this, in whatever way you can, then the blood supply will start flowing towards your heart, and then your heart rate will start functioning in a normal manner. So these are 3-4 pointers you can consider as the to cure this situation, first aid kind of situation. But even then, if you notice that your heart rate, still your heart rate is showing high in your watch, you can consider consulting the doctor. But these are the things that you should immediately do, either you, or if you notice somebody near to you or your colleague or your family is facing this is what you should do. So the key is always keep a water bottle near you. Always be ready to do the deep breathing. So you should be habitual of doing deep breathing throughout the day. It should not be your workout, it should be part of your lifestyle, where you are supplying enough oxygen to your heart, where you are expanding your lungs and taking out the stale air from the lungs. Your diaphragm is helping you in that, and you are strengthening your diaphragm. So if you are in this habit to do it throughout the day, what will happen is, once you feel that your heart rate is up, you automatically will start doing it. You automatically will grab a glass of water and your heart rate will be settled down. Okay, so these are 3 very important pointers: deep breathing, water intake, and elevate your legs. These 3 pointers, and otherwise, even if it's not getting improved, then you must see a doctor. How to understand your heart rate zones? Again asked by Evie. So when we are following a training pattern, like we are doing a structured workout, heart rate zone, so your watch helps you to divide your heart rate in various zones. So if I take example of Garmin app, what it does is it divides your heart rate as per your fitness level and your age. It divides your heart rate in 5 zones. So first 2 zones can be considered as warm-up, that starts from 70 to 100 or 110 as per your age and fitness level. So if your heart rate is till then that number, that means you are in a warm-up zone. After that, till 135 or 140, there is aerobic zone. So zone 3 and zone 4. So we talked about zone 1 and zone 2 as warm-up zone, where heart rate is going up till 115 or 115 or 120, and then zone 3 and zone 3 will be your aerobic zones, where you are exerting your heart a little, but you are still able to talk to somebody. So that will be around 140 or 145, depending on the your fitness level and age. After that, zone 4 is the threshold zone, again an aerobic zone, but it's a threshold zone because it's just below your anaerobic zone. So if you reach the last of that zone 4, then you are in the threshold part where you are exerting your heart much higher, where you are working on strengthening your heart. So that zone 4 threshold should be for a very minimal time, and then zone 5 comes up where that is the anaerobic zone, where your heart rate is the highest, that is the maximum, like 90% of your maximum heart rate. That we'll talk in the next segment. After this I'll talk about that. So you need to remain within zone 3, maximum zone 4, till the heart rate of 140 or 145 when you are training in a warm up to aerobic zone. Then once or twice in a week you need to get into zone 5 also, and or in the threshold zone, so that you can train your heart in a way where you are huffing and puffing, your heart rate is up till maybe 160 or 170, but that is for a very short duration. That is called high intensity interval training or anaerobic interval training. So here you are training your heart to perform in the less supply of oxygen for a very minimal duration, maybe 10 seconds or 30 seconds or 1 minute maximum. Then take a break of 1 minute, then again repeat that. So 30 seconds workout, 1 minute break, 30 seconds workout, 1 minute break. So if you do 5-6 reps of that, so for that 30 seconds you are staying in that zone 5, that is the anaerobic zone. So this way your watch or your app helps you to define your heart rate in different zones, so that you can monitor your training. Okay, I have done this brisk walking, so I was in this zone. I have done weight training, so I had trained in this zone. I did sprinting and stairs running, so I was in this zone. I was able to elevate my heart to this level, so that you can monitor your HR progress with your expert. Okay, how to understand what your maximum heart rate is? Very pertinent question. That when how will you understand if you are 20 years old or if you are 60 years old? How you will understand that what should be your limit? That after this I need to stop. So that number comes by calculation. It comes by 220 minus your age. So I'll take an example of 20 years old person. So 220 minus 20 will be 200, and then we need to take out the percentage of 200. That will be, that can start from 60% of 200 till 80% of 200, depending on your fitness level. That will define what your maximum heart rate should be. So if your fitness level is just started, you just started doing your workouts, you had not been active in the past, you don't have a muscle memory, then you will start with 60% of 200, considering the example of a 20-year-old person. So you can calculate as per your age. So if you just started 60%, if you are a little above that, then 70%, a little above that, then your maximum heart rate zone should be 80%. But this is supposed to be advised to you by your expert. You should not take your decisions on that until and unless you are really experienced and you've done your research on that. So your expert will advise you, okay, for the anaerobic interval training, for high intensity interval training, this should be your maximum heart rate. So you should always put an alert of your maximum heart rate. So when you are training, especially when you are training, your heart rate has reached to that number and it's crossing above beyond that number, then you should stop immediately or slow down. That will help you avoid the overtraining in terms of your cardiac health. So to achieve the cardiac health, you don't need to overdo it. You need to remain in your zone, remain in your pertinent prescribed number, and then train yourself towards that. So if your maximum heart rate is assigned as 150 by your expert, that when you are training, your heart rate should not go beyond 150 or 160, you can put an alert on your watch, and then once your watch alerts you that your heart rate is going beyond that, you need to stop, because your body is not ready to perform beyond that number, and that may result into fatigue conditions. You will start feeling dizziness, you will start getting n number of other symptoms, and that may result into cardiac arrest also. So this point is really important, that you need to stay within your range. Don't try to overdo it, because your life does not depend on these trainings. You are not getting paid for doing such amount of activity, such high intensity activity where you will reach 190, your zone is 150 but you reach 190 and then you are getting paid for that. Your life doesn't depend on that. You have to be very careful to avoid any fatal situation, to avoid any adverse symptoms. So you feel dizzy because you feel giddiness or dizziness because you are over exerting and you are not giving enough recovery time to your heart. So one example of high intensity interval training can be, supposedly you opted for sprinting or stairs running. So you did select 10 stairs to run upwards, or you did select to sprint for 100 meters. So you sprinted for 100 meters or did your stairs running 10 stairs upwards, then you climb down. So when you are climbing down and in your sprint you do a walk of 100 meters or 200 meters, you need to keep a watch. Is your heart rate going low? Is your heart rate going low? So if in the sprinting and stairs running your heart rate is going above 150, that is your maximum zone, and when you are relaxing, is your heart rate going low or is the same? If it is not going low, you need to get more recovery time. So if your expert has advised do 100 meters of sprint and 100 meters of walk break, but in that 100 meters of walk break your heart rate is not getting back to 120, it's still at 150, that means you need to add another 100 meters of walk break so that your heart can recover. Once your heart rate is at 120 again, then again you will push it to 150 and do another set of sprints. Similarly in your stairs running, so you have run upwards, your heart rate went up till 160, you climbed down but your heart rate is still at 160. So you will have to wait or keep walking. Once your heart rate comes back to normal 110 or 120, once your heart rate is down again, then you will climb up again. So gradually over the period of time, what will happen is, you did a sprint 150 heart rate, another 100 meters walk break, and again your heart will go down, heart rate will go down to 120, and then gradually you will start building up that rhythm. So initially your recovery time can be higher, and gradually your recovery time will start going low because your heart is now getting into a stronger zone. So 100 meters sprint, 100 meters walk or 100 meters sprint, 300 meters walk, both are equally important. So just judge that is your heart rate coming back to normal or not, and tell your expert about that, because it's you who is training. So if your expert has said 100 plus 100, don't go like that. Just check if your heart rate is going, or try to analyze your heart rate graph after your training. So I hope this was a fruitful presentation. You could learn a little about the cardiac strength. So we'll keep talking about it in future. Let's be fit, guys. Take care. Bye bye.